Okay, welcome back everyone. Today I'm going to be taking you through my first ever completed sketchbook. This is one that I like to call my messy sketchbook. It's not a lot of finished pieces. Some of my other sketchbooks that you may or may not have seen have more paintings. They're definitely not sketchy and random like this one is. This one is just a spiral bound one, and I really like it because you can fold pages back and just work on one side. You don't have to worry about the binding and having to clip it with something or anything like that. It's really good if you're just sitting and you have this in your lap. It's a nice hard surface, so it works really well. It is a mixed media sketchbook. I got it at Hobby Lobby. It's Master's Touch, and the paper is pretty decent. I don't think watercolor would be the best on it, though I do have some in here that are watercolor, but whenever I use the watercolor, I didn't do really heavy water washes with it, if that makes any sense. And it worked okay. The pages do get a little warped, but paper is decent. It is, what is it? 180 GSM. Anyway, the front of this has definitely taken a beating. It has definitely seen better days, and it got really warped. But there's like a big coffee ring right here because I used to leave this on my couch armrest, and then I would set my coffee on top of it in the morning when I would have my coffee. And it was kind of a way to keep my sketchbook close by in case I wanted to grab it and draw on it, which really came in useful. But at the same time, I did have a couple of coffee spills. So, you know, there's my coffee spill art. Anyways, so first page, this is several different days. It's just kind of like one day I did some swatches. One day I drew this of a frog eating the flower off of a flower. I thought that might be cute. Just kind of a silly flower with a little snail and a bee bottom. He's kind of hanging on the leaf. And there's his fuzzy bum. Frog looking at this snail, probably deciding whether he wants to eat the snail or not. Anyways, this page was my first attempt at abstract / intuitive art painting. I just kind of made a bunch of marks. Didn't really plan on what this was going to turn into. I just kind of went for it. And this is what it turned into. It almost looks like there's like a lake and maybe a bridge or a road and some bushes and a mountain, cliffs, I don't know. And then on this side, I was sketching in pen, and this is me and my sisters. I'd kind of sketched us from a picture that I thought was really funny where we're all making crazy faces. That kind of made me want to make a painting of all three of us making crazy faces, but I wanted to paint us as like cow faces instead of our faces, but have the same expression. And I thought about doing it as a horse, but then horses are really hard. Anyways, so be looking for that because I'm definitely going to do that. This was the very beginning stage of me planning my night up painting, and I will link that in my description if you haven't seen that one. I don't talk in that one. It's just kind of a speed paint video, but I really like that painting, how it turned out. But this was me kind of playing with colors and the idea of a door and some reflections and stuff like that. On this side, I was playing around with the idea of having like a monster battle. So like in this one, there's the monster and he's died. And he's like, yeah, I conquered the monster. Kind of like a Colosseum type thing where he's coming out from the gate and he's huge. And he's like, oh my goodness, this huge thing. And here's another one of him going into the arena and he just sees the tail of this big beast that he's gonna have to fight. This one, I actually started painting, but I lost interest in it and I'm still gonna finish it. So this is like a lazy bird and this is the inside of his birdhouse and he's collected all kinds of things. Anyway, that one's on pause. Then we have my husband trying to explain some kind of idea that he had. So this one is, You know, it's upside down too. So let's turn it the right way. Okay. This one is my fireplace. I was practicing some drawing skills because I don't have very good drawing skills unless I concentrate really hard. And this took me a really long time to draw and a lot of erasing. Sorry, these are kind of like upside down and turned all different kinds of ways. This was another idea I had for a painting. And this one is someone sat on a bench while it's raining and they're very sad. And the light pole next to them is trying to shine some light or warmth onto this person. This was, I think, my first sketch for my painting that I did in another sketchbook. I have a video where I painted this one. It doesn't look like this, but this was the beginning concept for that. This was me drawing my thumb holding this sketchbook. This was my first watercolor painting, and I used some really cheap paints. Those little round chalky ones that are like a couple of bucks at the store. I found some, and I was like, oh, let me test these out and see if this paper can handle it. And as you can tell, the paper it wasn't too bad. But the paints are not very good paints. You might not be able to tell. They're very chalky. But I think the bird turned out really good. This is another concept for a future painting. Just a couple of flowers in a vase. This is another idea that I think I'm going to turn into a painting also. And it's going to be called Tea Party for One. It's just this little troll under his bridge having his morning tea by himself, and he's got his big old pot belly, and I thought it was kind of cute. Then we have this one. This was another me trying to get perspective for the Night Up painting. So that was me practicing perspective. This was me following a tutorial on faces and how to get proportions and draw faces, though as you can tell, you know, I have a chin. Drawing chins is not my strong suit. And you'll see one here in a minute that really proves that. Then I have this one. This is another idea for a painting about chess. These are some portrait studies I did in pencil. So they kind of got ruined because that's the only bad thing about sketchbooks like this is that the pages are shifty. So if you use pencil, they do tend to rub on each other. And then I did a little horse portrait. This was another idea for a landscape painting. I was practicing my signature and trying to figure out what I want to sign my paintings as. This was a concept for a Halloween painting. I actually did this portion of it as a painting, and I have a video of that one. But in this, I just kind of have a ghost, something coming out of a grave. I've got a werewolf back there with the moon, a crow. I was gonna do, there's another picture in here, and this one was gonna be a pumpkin, but like a zombie pumpkin. Then we got a creepy castle in the background and a scarecrow. This is my fur baby. His name is Frodo, and I just sketched him while he was sleeping on a little blanket. This is the finished concept sketch for that painting that I did a video on. So this was the concept sketch. This was another concept sketch that I didn't end up doing, which was the zombie pumpkin. Here I tried that same chalky watercolor with a different reference picture. I think it turned out all right. I have some more concept sketches for that snail ladybug painting that I did, and then a couple of clovers. So I found the picture of this fountain on Pexels, but I was practicing this because I was going to do it in watercolor, and I didn't know whether I just wanted to do it like this or if I wanted to have like more of a scene going on with some trees and stuff. but I ended up doing it like this, and that one is another video on my channel. Here's a vase with some flowers. Some kind of sketchy flowers. This is another one of me trying to figure out perspective. This one I really like. It is a picture from Pexels, but I kind of added this flower in here, and I thought about doing her like this but surrounded by a bunch of flowers, and I might actually still do that as a painting in the future. More trying to figure out perspective and light shining, because that was giving me problems. This was some ostrich studies. I hadn't really drawn very many animals, so I was practicing an ostrich and a fox. I'm not really proud of this fox's face, but that's why we practice. And here I did a melted candle, and this was me just kind of playing around with some kind of ice monster thing. Just kind of having fun, being silly. This was another reference photo from Pexels that I was practicing my drawing skills. This was an idea I had, and I actually did a painting, but I filmed it, but I didn't like how the painting turned out, so I never posted it. But it was a light fixture in a hallway, like a dark hallway with that printed wallpaper, but I never put the video out because I wasn't proud of the final product. Here is some crows sitting on a bench, kind of chilling together. This was an idea that kind of came out of nowhere. It was like a bench that was like submerged in some water in like a swamp or something. Right here is my concept sketch for my big painting that I did called That's Life. And I have a speed paint video of that on my channel as well. Really proud of that one. And these are just some random ideas that I did little thumbnails for. And here is one of my massive chins. I am not good at doing faces and chins for whatever reason. Here's more practice. I wasn't sure if I wanted it to be really close or really far away, so I was kind of playing around there. This is supposed to be my dog Frodo with a dragonfly coming over to sit on his nose. That used to happen all the time when I would take him on walks. This is an idea for another painting that I have, a woman's face made out of wax, and the wicks are her eyes, and so she's melting, crying, kind of. It'd be a very dark, moody painting, but I think it's gonna be cool once I do it. But also, as you can tell, weird shaped chin, okay? This was another painting I did, and I thought about using my triangle, I have triangle canvases, and I thought about using those to do this painting, but I ended up not doing that. This is also supposed to be a woman smelling flowers that are coming out of a real painting on the wall, but as you can tell, this is actually her chin. So I don't understand. I don't understand why I am so terrible at chins, but there you go. And here is another idea that's similar to the other one, where it's a painting of a woman crying, and the man goes by and he sees the painting, and it's almost like she's real, so he's like wanting to give her his handkerchief. He kind of looks like Mario. I don't know why. Here's another super chin woman. It's supposed to be like Mother Nature blowing the seasons through the trees. Then I just did some stick figures because I felt like drawing, but I didn't know what to draw, so I just started doing some stick figures. This was me practicing for a painting that I did for my brother-in-law. A little dog acting like he's a big dog. And he's got like a big dog shadow, and he scared this dog. Then I have a little fat squirrel eating a nut. Another squirrel with a nut, kind of reminds me of Ice Age. Then you have another chin issue, crying in the rain, a bucket head cat, and just some random doodle drawings. This was another one trying to figure out, because I wanted to do a painting that had something to do with chess, and I was trying to figure out how I wanted it to look. I have this, it's the same concept, it's just this is like a farther away view of it. That's supposed to be a top hat with something in it, but it's kind of wonky. Learning drawing, you know, it's definitely a thing. Mother Nature in the woods, she's got a key, and it almost looks like she's being drained of life. This one is someone being punched in the face. This is a concept sketch for my Lost Lava painting, which I also have a video for. This was kind of like a mindless, you know, doodle. This is a creepy gargoyle in the rain. It's me practicing sketching a person. And this is whenever I got my real set of watercolors. So you can definitely tell a difference from those chalky ones to this. Same thing here, but the paper, like I said, the paper is not very good for watercolor because it kind of tears up a little bit and gets really rough. But anyway, this was just a doodle of a dog warming himself by the fire. I was practicing my pen sketching because I got tired of pencil and having to erase so much. This is just like a sign. I didn't do much with that. This is a willow tree in a lake. A woman inside, and it's all spring and everything, and she's just kind of daydreaming at the window. This was me painting Gandalf and the Bell Rock, but as mice. You shall not pass. And then that kind of made me sketch out this, which is now a painting that I love, and it's a series that I started called Little Master. If you haven't seen that one, you should definitely go see that one. Here's a little caterpillar on a rock wall. And then that kind of made me want to paint a Luna moth, but I never painted it, I just sketched it out. So it's a Luna moth and me practicing a Luna moth. This one I'm gonna have to censor because I have little thought bubbles by them, and the thought bubbles are funny, but not YouTube appropriate. A weird duck, a person in a house, a girl captain, a dude. They both have like pumpkin eyeballs. My copper dog. Here is an egg on stage or something. He's being very dramatic. This is upside down. This was a concept sketch for another painting that I did. This one's called Windows to the Soul. These are just some random late night sketches. I made a painting out of this one, and I have that one on my channel. It's like a light bulb going to sleep at night, so it's like a night light. Someone peeking through a dark window. Some more ants. Spoilers. This one is gonna be the origin for Little Master, so shh, don't tell anybody. This is my dog Frodo. And so I drew him in the scene where Frodo and all the other hobbits show up at the door, trying to go to the prancing pony. I thought that was cute. I have some more sketches of my dog, sketches of my hand, trying to practice hands, and then another Little Master drawing. Random doodle. Another random doodle. Another random doodle. This is Rapunzel giving him the bird. Another random doodle. This was me following another tutorial, trying to figure out the whole chin thing. Obviously, you can tell it's working. Not really. shapes and perspective. This is gesture drawing, how to measure how tall someone should be and do different poses. Perspective, oh my goodness, perspective. This was a fun one to do. I would definitely suggest doing this one. So this is, you pick an object and you draw it using 0% visibility, right? So you draw it from memory. So I chose a paint tube, okay? And you draw it strictly from memory. You don't look at it at all. Then you draw it only looking at a paint tube. So you can't look at the paper, you have to look only at the paint tube and draw it. And then this one is going 50-50. So you're kind of looking at the paint tube and back and forth, so. And you can tell, you know, you shouldn't only draw things from memory, but you shouldn't only try to draw what you see. So you kind of have to blend the two, I guess. Then over here, I was practicing a shoe and some swatches for a painting. And then these are some robot faces. I was trying to figure out how I wanted the robot face to look. This is another painting that I filmed. It's on my channel. This painting is called Ruin. Here's another doodle I did. Another doodle holding a light bulb. A doodle of a scary castle with some lightning. This is more trying to work out how I wanted the robot to look like, because I didn't want it to look like the Iron Giant, and I felt like everything I was drawing kind of looked like the Iron Giant. So I was kind of playing around with how I wanted it to look. I also didn't want it to look like the Tin Man, so I was playing around with that. This one I turned into a painting, which is also on my channel. This is a dust bunny under some furniture or something, and I thought it'd be funny if it was actually a dust bunny that lives under there. I don't know. Practicing a ladybug with some ink pen. This was me practicing for a painting that I did, trying to figure out what all I wanted him to do in the scene. This was the zombie pumpkin. I was kind of trying to play with that idea. This is another idea for my Little Master series. This is one that I still want to do. It is a pirate taking a nap on his ship while you can see the waves in the background, like they're in a storm, but because he's a pirate and he's used to it, he's just kind of taking a nap while it's going on. And this one is a girl who caught some fireflies and she's releasing them in the woods. That's a firefly lighting up a light bulb. Here's another one of the pirate, only he looks a little bit less like a pirate in this one. But I was thinking instead of him sleeping by the window where they're in a storm, he could be trying to focus on writing a letter while a storm's going on. So I might do that one. This was me thinking about doing another painting in my sketchbook that I have a video on. This one turned into a painting, my button tree. A creepy drawing. I'm not sure what the heck this is supposed to be. Looks like some kind of demon thing. This was going to be a painting. I actually started painting this, but I didn't get it painted before Halloween. So then I kind of stopped painting it because I was like, well, I missed Halloween and no one's probably going to want to watch it if it's not Halloween anymore. So I might do this in a future Halloween video, but that was for a painting. That's an idea for a painting. This was me trying to flesh out how I wanted to do this painting right here. This is some more Little Master thoughts. I didn't even draw that one, I just wrote it down. Another one that could be a Little Master adventure. Little Master going down some stairs. And And last but not least, another one of my chessboard, trying to figure out the positions of the pieces and stuff. So that's it. That's where I left it. And then on the cover, this is just paint that didn't get used in a painting. I would take my paint and just kind of wipe it on here so it didn't really get wasted. Got a little person there, a little orange, some crystals, and that's about it. Well, hopefully you enjoyed that little sketchbook tour. Let me know how you liked it. If you liked it, please give me a like. That's the easiest way for me to know that people are actually enjoying these videos. Let me know in the comments which page was your favorite. If you have any questions about the sketchbook or the paper, and yeah, just anything you want to know about, ask me in the comments. I am always happy to get questions in the comments or just a nice little message in the comments. That stuff really helps, and it really keeps me motivated and wanting to do better and better. I'm still getting better and trying to figure out this YouTube thing. So for all my subscribers who have been here with me and stay with me, thank you so much. And for all my new subscribers, thank you so much. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I don't know what you're doing. I mean, it's free. Anyway, that's all for this one. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see y'all next time.